Welcome to Tech Tuesday. My name is Abbie Richie, and I have with me co-hosting today Todd Petty from Fin.io. Today, we have a great guest and a really unique lineup for you as we're going to start doing something a little bit different once a month, and we're going to talk about upcoming trends in technology as it relates to senior living. Before we get started, let's go ahead and run our intro. Welcome back. And Todd Petty, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Abbie. It's a pleasure being here. Looking forward to the show.
Absolutely. So at Senior Living Foresight, we've been talking about having Todd on to talk about some of the innovation that's occurring in senior living as it relates to technology and what you can be focusing on as an operator, as a senior living executive, in order to bring your community and your company into the forefront and into the future of senior living. Todd has a unique angle and a unique vision to forecast these kinds of trends. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And in addition to that, let's go ahead and bring our guest on. We've got Donna Moore. Welcome to Tech Tuesday, Donna.
Hello, Abbie. Great to be here with you and Todd today. I'm really excited about our topic.
Yes, absolutely. Today we're talking about having a head for business and a heart for seniors. And Donna, would you please go ahead and introduce yourself to our viewers?
My name is Donna Moore. I'm the general manager of Holbrook of Ackworth, which includes independent living, assisted living, and memory care. And we are in Ackworth, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta.
Yeah, wonderful. And tell me, how do you and Todd know each other?
Oh my gosh. I will tell you that Todd Petty was on my hit list for a long time. And I would read his LinkedIn posts. I would follow him on the speaker circuit. And I called my friend Charles Mann and I said, "Do you know this guy? Can you get me an introduction?" And Charles said, "I'll do my best. You know, he's so busy." And Charles came through for me. And Todd and I had breakfast about a year ago. And I just knew the first 10 minutes in, that Todd Petty and I were going to be lifelong friends. He is such an icon in our industry. He's such a visionary. He's innovative. And he gets people. And yeah, like I said, I was stalking him. So I finally got to meet him, and now I get to call him friend.
Nice. Friendly stalking, right?
Friendly stalking.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Fangirling. You're fangirling. So, you know, senior living is truly unlike any other industry. And so I want to hear from you two how you have found that to be true. Todd, is senior living unlike any other industry?
Well, I really think this is almost one of the most complex industries you can be in, because to be successful, and some of the things we're going to be talking about today, is you have to blend very different specific skill sets together. You have to blend in a community, a tried and true business operational platform, and be very good at business. You have to be able to run a hospitality model, and you also have to be able to run healthcare. Those are three very different, unique skills, and they have to be brought together and deployed with all engines firing, if you will.
Yes, you know, one time I believe it was Charles Mann who said this to me. He was like, you know, senior living, it is hospitality and hospital together in one sense, and it never closes. So there's a lot of security involved. There's a lot of recreation involved. You know, it's really a very, very unique business.
Well, and you know, where else are you going to find, other than hospitality, hospitals, medical, senior living, where else are you going to find your customers reside inside your business?
Yeah.
Your customers you see every day. Your customers get bad at you, but they still come back for more. You know, it is a very unique model for senior living. And quite honestly, you know, it becomes, and this sounds like a cliche, but it really does become a family. And, you know, you fuss and you fight and you grieve and you celebrate. but just the nature of running a family as a business makes senior living unique as well.
It really does. It really
Yeah.
does.
And Abbie,
But-
I was just going to jump in real quick. And this family consists of our residents, their family members, which usually there's 2 or 3 of them, the vendors that support our community, the healthcare continuum. There's a lot of people that we call our family that we have to satisfy and get good information to on a daily basis.
Indeed. And there's so many shifts that are occurring in senior living, not just with the residents and the employees, but we also have baby boomers moving in. We also have a shift towards more high tech and high touch. Why is this? And Donna, what are you seeing in your community that speaks to that?
So, I am the very last of the baby boomers, beginning of the Gen Xers. And, my children are Gen Zers, and we're finding in our workforce, folks want a purpose.
Mhm.
When they are drawn to senior living, it's because they need a purpose. They want a purpose. They want to serve. And so we're seeing that influx of folks that really have that high touch mentality, right? But we're also seeing with the older baby boomers coming in, our new residents, they want high tech as well as high touch. And so we've got to find a way to blend that and to give them both. I think gone are the days where you make a choice, one or the other in your business model. You got to bring them both together. And what we're seeing is heavy on food. One of my Donna-isms is, if you get the food right, they'll forgive you just about anything. Right, Todd?
Absolutely.
Focusing on fitness and spas. Here at Holbrook, we pride ourselves on having our own indoor pool, steam room, spa, fitness center, massage, mani-pedi. We even have a salon on site. So that's more high touch.
Mm-hmm.
We're focusing on bucket list expeditions, we call them. We take our residents skydiving. We take them on balloon rides. We do things that diving with sharks, things that they want to do that is bucket list adventures. High tech, you can now make a reservation for dinner on your phone. You can place a work order. You can sign up for an activity. And then you bring all that together with folks that really want a purpose and want to serve and want to take care of elders. You have a beautiful thing. And I think that's where our industry is going, is it's not one or the other, it's both.
And Todd, have you referred to this in the past as a C-level change?
Yeah, well, this is a real renaissance moment in our industry. So some people want to throw out everything of the past and adopt what's new and think that's going to be a winner. And some people want to cling to the past and not have any new adoption. And you have to have both. You have to bring in tried and true operations, and you have to move in new technology and new innovation and blend it together. And so this is creating really a blue ocean opportunity for us, because senior housing is usually one or the other. And even if someone's in the business of middle income deliverables or buying a building that's distressed and turning it around, they still have to have all these aspects into it that you would a brand new building to service this new generation that's going to be more demanding.
I love what Jesse just said. And if you can go ahead and put that back up on the screen, yeah, you can have all the technology in the world, but if you don't have heart in your building, then it just falls to the wayside. So you really and truly need to have that heart of senior living that's fueling the ship, right?
Thank you, Jesse. Love you too. I mean, Jesse, one of the examples I have of shifting from low tech to high tech in our industry, is one of the products that Jesse works on. And, I told Todd earlier this week, I said, it's my pull cord story. most of us have the same pull cord technology that we've had for 20 years. And I was sharing with Todd that, I get reams of data all the time. Daily, I get these emails pushed to me of static data about my pull cord system. And it's in a PDF. I can't convert it to Excel. I can't analyze it. It's just data. It's not even information, right? It hasn't been translated from data into information. And there's so much value in that data. But if you cannot turn it into information and then take it to the next step, which we're going to talk about in a minute, it's really not useful to me. And, there are products out there like where Jesse works to give us data that becomes predictive.
Yeah. Abbie, I'm sorry. I got to jump in here, Don. I think that's a great segue because, the world we live in kind of looks back. A lot of the technology and products are like, let's figure out what went on now that it went on. And the whole world is shifting. The world is shifting to be able to predict with machine learning and other tools what's going on so we can intervene before a resident episodic event happens. And then we're freed up our time to deliver this engagement that Donna just talked about. So, and everybody must move that way. Most people are kind of stuck at being historians, looking back and describing what has been, or they're reporters. We're going to tell you what's going on right now, but we really need to be futurists. We need to get ahead so we can predict and deliver great quality care moving forward. And whoever does that is going to win big in the future.
Well, and isn't it both, Todd? Isn't it both, the technology? You can't, what do we say? If you don't grow, you grow old. You got to keep up with technology. And those that are going to win in the future are going to be on the cutting edge of technology, but they're also bringing their heart to play, the heart for seniors. So it's both, but you've got to move both forward at the same time.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I want to take a quick break right now. And when we come back, we'll talk more about some of the key to great operations and value-based care. But right now, what I would like to do is talk about HR. Now, we all deal with HR in one way or another. And let's face it, it can be a total pain, right? I know as an entrepreneur. And that's why ProCare HR is committed to helping you work out the kinks of your HR so you can focus on what really matters. And that's delivering care. So ensuring that you can provide the highest level of care is ProCare's top priority. They have proven results in helping care organizations because they really only serve the care industry. ProCare HR addresses the common burdens like workforce shortages, wage gaps, expensive sign-on bonuses, legislative changes, high workers' comp claims, and more. If you want more information, go ahead and reach out to them at procarehr.com. Thank you. Now let's go ahead and ease back into our discussion. And when we left off, I really want to talk about the key to great operations. Oftentimes it's about managing the care, managing the event before it happens. Donna, tell us, how is your community doing this?
So I really like the point that you make, Abbie. It's about how do you get ahead of events in your community. And, we all deal with UTIs, we deal with falls, we deal with dehydration. And, the business operator of the future needs to get ahead of that. And you got to manage it before it happens. And I think one of the ways that we're dealing with this at Holbrook is we're doing a pilot right now with semantics. Okay. And we have a wearable that someone wears on their wrist, and it tracks a lot of biometrics and biostatistics. It will test your dehydration by how many times you do the action of drinking. It'll track your steps. It will track, are you taking your medication? It will track just everything. I mean, it is 3 steps beyond what we know as the Apple Watch and some of the apps on our phone. And being able to predict a UTI before it happens, being able to predict a fall before it happens because someone's mood has changed, or because someone has started shuffling their feet versus picking up their feet to walk. I mean, that's powerful stuff right there. And the pilot that we're doing, we're running it here at Holbrook of Ackworth, and we are hoping that the data that we collect becomes information that is shared not only with our residents, but with their families and with our care staff, so that we can provide better care and better quality care to get ahead of it. So that's one of the exciting things we're doing.
As an operator, if you wanted to do more of this test bed opportunity with your community, what's the best way to connect with technology?
So, podcasts like this, doing, getting out there and listening and learning about what's going on in other communities, staying connected to other operators, just reading. I mean, Forbes did a huge write-up on some of this advanced technology in healthcare and in hospitality about 8 months ago. So, that's just a handful of ideas, but, it's just staying connected with what's going on, listening to podcasts like yours, Abbie, and making sure that we're kept informed about what's coming.
I know from my professional experience with AARP that their Age Tech Collaborative is always looking for communities to test bed new products. So that's one way. And let's see, what else? What's another way that providers can really start having a mind towards value-based care? Todd?
Yeah, well, value-based care is going to change our world, because as everyone is reading and understands, we're going to be rewarded not for treating symptoms or waiting to an event to happen and then we're taking care of someone. We're now going to be rewarded for preemptive strikes, that we're monitoring the data, the baseline of the resident, and when it changes, we're getting them help. And that's why the devices are going to be important. What Donna said, who can extract the best data? And there's a race right now going on of who can do that. There's a great, if you go to Apple and go to iOS Health, they're going to talk about all what they're gathering the data from you. But what's even more important, because this data is great, but anybody you talk to as a thought leader will tell you, we don't have time to go dig the data. We don't have time. We don't have analysts to figure it out. So the next step is be able to, the machine to take the data, evaluate it, and then push an alert to the team that, hey, there's a change in condition and Todd needs assist or Abbie needs assist. But why this is important is because if we can predict, as Donna said, someone that might fall, someone that is dehydrated, someone that's not taking their medicine right, someone that's not moving, someone that's not eating, all those things are going to lead to an event. If we can see it happening, we can intervene. And the government will pay now for us to triage these symptoms and monitor them with a healthcare professional so we can provide care. And I would say one last thing too, a rehab organization that's in the building, once they know the resident is at risk, Finn tells them, our technology tells them they're at risk, then they know they can admit that person to rehab, get them rehab, and prevent them leaving, going to a hospital, potentially falling and dying. And the first to adopt this and make way for this is going to change the life of their residents, have a better outcome, and will be, the preferred place to go in your city or in your town.
And let me give you a practical example of this. Let's say that Mrs. Jones didn't sleep well last night. That was recorded. She's irritable this morning. She passed on breakfast, not interested in eating. She was incontinent overnight, which is highly unusual. Something's off. So the caregiver knows something's off. Mm-hmm. But right now, in a practical world, in our world, we'll talk about it in crossover or in our team shift huddles. We share this information verbally. It may or may not be written in the chart. It may not even be read at the leader level. And it just becomes like words in the air.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine a world of where this information was captured in a system and pushed to the leaders, the med techs and the leaders, the shift leaders, and leaders like me. And it says, alert, 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 Mrs. Jones is at risk because something's off.
Yeah.
And so rather than us having to go and reactively read notes, something is being pushed to us proactively. And it becomes, again, Todd and I talk about from data to information to prediction. You've got to make all of those changes, those steps in technology. And now if I get a note that says Mrs. Jones is at risk, I can deploy my resources to say, we need to follow up on this. We need to see what's happening. Because most of this is everyday, all day type activities. And we don't have the systems right now, and we're getting them. And that's why we're talking on this call and we're on the cutting edge. But we've got to get to a place where machine learning tells us, Donna, go check on Mrs. Jones.
Yeah. And Abbie, that.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Todd?
He looks frozen from here.
But happy. Frozen, but happy.
Frozen, but happy.
That's a hard for seniors, because if machines can do what we don't have time to do versus digging the data out.
Would you mind repeating that one more time? You got a little frozen.
I thought I did. So I was sharing that if this data is being collected by a machine, it's not replacing people. It's collecting it, saying, hey, your resident is at risk.
Yeah.
Now I free the caregiver up, so all they have to do is take care of the resident and go and pay heart attention to that resident. So it gives them more time with the resident, and the caregiver does what they are called to do: serve, love on the resident, and spend time with them, versus on some dashboard trying to figure out what's going on. That is the world we're going to, and that's going to change our industry and put us really back to what we've always talked about doing.
Yes, it's kind of a combination of both high tech and high touch at the same time. So it's more of a shift in a perception and more a shift in a workforce as well. And it's going to help senior living shift to more successful and profitable operations. Donna, when we're thinking about that, talk to us about a way that we can balance resident needs with profit, for instance.
Well, and I like to do this.
Yeah.
And that it's not weighing the difference. It's we've got to love and serve while taking care of our business. And we've got to do that balance. And high tech does not mean that we are getting rid of bodies. We're not getting rid of FTEs in our business. We're just, as Todd said, we're freeing them up to do the things that we hired them to do, to take care of and engage with and love on our residents. The paradigm has to change from delivery of care to outcomes and results. Because as business operators, and again, it's the balance, we've got to move quicker and we've got to move better to be relevant for senior living. And when we do that, when predictive analytics allows us to do that, better qualities of life. When someone has decreased their walking, what does that mean for us? It means a decrease of blood to the frontal lobe. You move your body and your blood flows. Decreased mobility means increased likelihood of falls. So using predictive analytics to give us predictions and data information that we can use allow us to be better operators because we are doing things differently based on that information. Things like when you have an increased risk for falls, you're more likely to go to the emergency room. You may not become appropriate for short-term rehab. Because you can't do an hour and a half of PT. You may become a candidate for long-term care, or this may become the beginning of the end. And for us as operators, we want to make sure that the quality of life, the length of life, the profitability of our business is predicated on that. So if we can improve health, if we can improve mobility, if we can prevent events from happening, that's good business for us as operators.
100%, 100%. And it's such a balance, like you mentioned. It's not all one way or the other way. It's a combination and balancing those out. Donna, I want to ask you, what kind of challenges and limitations have you experienced as an operator in this situation?
In the situation of senior living, in the situation of managing data, what do you?
In senior living.
So I'm surprised Todd didn't tell on me, but one of the reasons he accepted my breakfast invitation is because he checked out my LinkedIn profile and saw the tent in my background.
Okay, I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of my biggest challenges, one of my greatest victories was living in my tent on campus for 11 weeks with 70 other volunteers in 2020 as we were battling COVID. We did not lose any residents. And we made the decision in March of 2020 to move on campus, to lock the gate.
Okay.
To keep COVID out, we were going to lock in. And one of the biggest challenges of my career was figuring out, how do you take care of over 500 people with 70 staff members?
Yeah.
And we figured it out and we did it. One of the things that we learned too was, how does technology become your friend? Because we were isolated. And so, telemedicine, when the legislators and CMS opened up the floodgates for telemedicine, that became our go-to with our residents, especially in assisted living and in memory care and long-term care, because I was at a CCRC. It opened up the floodgates for ways of using technology, simple technology at the time, to have face-to-face conversations and to give care to residents. And, it was invigorating. It was humbling. It was opportunistic. You mentioned a few minutes ago about the sea-level change. I think that was a sea-level change, is how telemedicine was used during COVID.
100%. And when you look at the before and the after, and how people, especially residents, have gravitated towards telemedicine and telehealth appointments, they like them. They like being able to do their follow-up appointments online. And so that graph of growth has changed so much in the past couple of years. In fact, in the next couple of weeks, we are going to be talking about that topic on Tech Tuesday. We're going to talk about telehealth and how it is actually better for your residents. So if there's anything you want to know more about that topic, feel free to reach out to me. And Donna, how can people get in touch with you to find out more?
So you can absolutely connect with me through my LinkedIn account. It is Donna-Moore-DM. I love meeting new people. I love reconnecting. Like I said, one of my goals is just to know as many people as I can in senior living. I'm relatively new to senior living. I've been in it about 5 years. I left and boomeranged back, and I just, hit me up because I want to know you. I want to get to know you. I want to hear your stories.
Me too. Same for me too. And Todd, welcome back. So it looks like you had a couple of technical issues, which are very common on Tech Tuesday. Welcome back. And, I'm just going to like to give you the opportunity that if anyone wants to connect with you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah. So it's an honor being on Tech Tuesday. raving fan of Donna Moore. Thank you, Donna, for coming on the show. Yeah, we're interested with partners and operators and owners and debt and equity partners that want to get their message out and see the positive future that we do. So simply you can instant message me on LinkedIn, and I'll be glad to respond to you and have a conversation with you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both for being here. And Todd, we will see you back here next month when you co-host the next episode. And Donna, thank you for joining us today. And for those who are in the chat, we thank you for your participation. We love it that you participate and you've got questions and you interact. If you have any other questions or topics you want to know more about, feel free to reach out to me. I like to meet new people too. And we'll see you all back here next week.